Okay, so the challenge that we want to take on for this particular segment is to recognize what your specific self-sabotage barrier is in regard to you bringing money and prosperity and abundance into your life, okay? So I've made a list, and I'm going to share it with you, of a multitude of different pieces of head trash, different fears, anxieties, things that we do to ourselves internally that ultimately end up causing us to procrastinate doing the things that we need to do in order to create the success that we want, okay? So let's see. I'll just read some of the list to you, and we'll talk about some of them as we go along. Okay. So, for example, the first one on here, I've written the fear of making the wrong decision. And then there's the fear of goal setting, the fear of failure, and the fear of success. Now, I have a lot of people who tell me they believe they are afraid of failure. But I would tell you that more of the people that I work with are afraid of success than they are of failure. Most of us have very strong coping skills for dealing with and overcoming our failures. We have failed before. Most of us have failed many times. And we have, over the years, developed skills and tools for working our way through those failures and, being resilient. Sometimes it takes longer than others for us to bounce back from our failures, but we do. And the proof of it is that you're right here with me now, working to develop more tools and skills to put in your toolbox, so to speak, for overcoming failures that you know that you may make along the way as you continue your journey. So what I would tell you is that the real stress and the real fear and the real anxiety comes from the unknown of trying to create the success that you want to create. So it's more of a fear of success than it is a fear of failure. We almost all of us out there know how to cope with the failures that we create in our efforts to be successful. But it is actually, even though we have these really wonderful positive visions of the success that we want to create, most of us also have a lot of fear wrapped around bringing that actual success into our lives as well. And some of it is the fear of creating criticism from other people by having brought this success into our lives. Let's see, let me go back to my list here. Oh, this is a good one. The fear of looking stupid, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of people thinking of us as being selfish, certainly the fear of change, fear of talking about money, fear of being confident, fear of calling yourself an expert, because for many of you out there who are entrepreneurs and small business owners and you're trying to do your own thing, so to speak, so that you can be an independent person and fulfill your own purpose in your life, and do that by sharing your talents with other people. And that requires you to also ask people to pay you for your skills and your knowledge and your talents. And I believe there's a lot of fear wrapped around that as well, and that creates a lot of anxiety and certainly a lot of stress. And of course, if you go back to the things I was saying earlier, that creates the procrastination in doing the things that you know you need to do. This work is designed to help you to break free from that internal head trash that is causing you to stop yourself and causing you to block yourself from doing the things that you otherwise, you probably are internally dreaming of doing these things. For some of you, it might be performing on stage, or it might be joining a group, or it might be being a consultant and sharing your talents and your skills with other people. You know, there's a multitude of things that you could be wanting to do, but you may very well be holding yourself back out of a sense of some of these fears. So let's see if there's some fears on here that I didn't relate or didn't share. Yes, here's one. Fear of disappointment. I know that, you know, many of my past clients have told me that, you know, they've tried to do something more than one time, and each time they failed. Again, having to use those tools of picking themselves up again and getting back to it, but that the sense of disappointment, that anticipation of being disappointed again and again and again, gets to a point where it just stops them from wanting to try, even though they still have that burning desire to create the success they want. There's that sense of anxiety about the potential of feeling that sense of disappointment. So let's see. Fear of having money. I know I've worked with a lot of clients in the past who have had internal dialogues that many of you out there have had these instilled in you from your childhood, that having and making a lot of money is somehow bad, that people are going to look down on you and people are going to criticize you, and that you know, you're opening yourself up to a lot of rejection and criticism if you bring a lot of money into your life, especially if you are doing it by selling your talents and your skills to other people. Okay, so let's see what else is on the list here. Certainly, I know a lot of people have anxiety and fear about talking about money, again, because, you know, a lot of us have that head trash about money, talking about it, making it, having it, etc. Let's see. Okay, so I mentioned before the fear of asking people to pay you for your products and services, and I'm gonna bring that one up again, and we'll end with that one in this particular segment, because I think that one is very significant. When you move to the next segment of this challenge, you'll be moving to the segment where you'll be doing some exercises that are going to help you to uncover your specific self-sabotage barriers and beliefs and head trash that are blocking you from having your own sense of worthiness of having the success that you want to create in your life. And so I would tell you that, gosh, I'd say maybe close to 98% of the people that I work with on a one-on-one level, my coaching practice, are people who really struggle in regard to asking someone else to pay them for their talents. And I find this to be extremely sad, because if we were all out there doing what we genuinely want to be doing, living our authentic, true selves by sharing our wonderful, blessed talents with other people, and using those talents to help other people, and in turn they're paying you for your talents. And I will say there's a little difference there between them paying you for your talents and you asking them to pay you for your talents and your skills. That, you know, there's just a little twist on that, but some of you felt it. But anyway, my point being that you're probably watching this video and going through this series of money challenge, break free from self-sabotage behavior, money challenges, because you want to be out there being your authentic self and living your authentic life by by doing what you want and love to do with your life. And that's going to require you to get comfortable with asking people to pay you for your time, for your skills, and for your talents. Okay? So, as I was saying earlier, the people that I have worked with in the past, so many of them have told me that that is a very significant challenge for them. So when we get to when you move to the next segment, you're going to find lots of exercises for working through the specific self-sabotage barriers that we were just talking about. Okay, so I'm going to do some specific exercises for a variety of these self-sabotage barriers. The fear of asking people to pay you for your time and your skills and your services is definitely going to be one of them, because I think that one is quite significant among the population. So this particular challenge is about uncovering your specific self-sabotage behaviors and your specific money barriers. And then the next thing we'll do in the next challenge is going to be about helping you to break free from your specific money self-sabotage barriers and behaviors, okay? And there'll be specific exercises for that piece of the challenge as well. All right, so there's a lot of work to be done, but we're going to make it as fun as we possibly can and as easy as we possibly can. And oh my gosh, it will definitely be the most rewarding work that you have ever done. And I am just very, very grateful that I am along for your journey. Okay? All right, so here we go.